board, and then we'll get going. So thank you, Ashley, for hopping on with us. If y'all don't know Ashley, like go to Palooza, go to any retreat she's gonna be on. She will become your favorite bestie. Her and I we headed off as soon as we met. We went to a retreat last year at Courtney's, which is Ryan's upline, and we just had a ball. So she has just skyrocketed to 40K. And I think when we were at Courtney's last year, I don't even know if we were 12K at all. Like we had lost ranks. We were kind of like, man, what are we doing? And it's just amazing how much this year has changed our lives. And so I'm just going to give Ashley the floor. She's kind of just going to pour into us and fly by the seat of her pants. So
I know that Ashley and I had kind of talked about doing a little bit of a Q&A, and also I know some of her team's on here, so welcome you guys. This is Ember Legacy, and we were kind of Shelby, Sarah, and I were kind of talking about. Hi. Okay, baby. We were talking about like meeting topics and just kind of things that we wanted to pour into our team. And Ashley really was someone that instantly came to our minds because obviously we all follow her in her journey. And so Ashley, I was going to throw a couple of questions at you, but then after I do that, it's going to be an open floor to the rest of you guys. So if you have any questions that you want to ask her, pick her brain about, or if you just think of any, while she is talking, make sure to write it down so that you can ask her either in the chat or unmute yourselves. But we all know that Ashley is an amazing leader, and her business is skyrocketing right now. She literally, like Shelby was just saying, got the fastest growth award. Congratulations. And obviously that comes from hard work and perseverance and all of that. So basically, I kind of wanted to ask if you would just share what your journey has been, because I know it's been a long journey. And then if there has been anything that you have kind of switched, either mentally or just how you work your business, that has really shown progression in a better way than what you were doing before. Because I think it's so normal to have slow starts. A lot of us do. I did. But I think a lot of people get discouraged by that. But you are just proof that if you just keep pushing for what you want, it can happen. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. If you weren't on earlier, this is not my normal voice. I am getting over a lovely head cold. And I have a cough drop in my mouth, and if I mute, I don't want to cough in your ear. But some of you know my story and some of you don't. I'm just going to try to make it sweet and short to the point. So basically, I have been thriving and been with Lavelle since 2018. But in 2021, I decided to step away completely. And that was because I'm not going to bash my old team, but my old team that I was on was a lot older than me, did not really see this as a business. Like, I want to retire my husband, and it's still crazy for me to call him that because we're married now. And I just booked a cruise for Alaska, and that's been something that's been on our vision board since the day we met. That was our first topic on our first date. So it's always been something big for us. But anyway, back to being on my old team, it just wasn't going anywhere. I would work really, really hard to get to 12K. I'd get to 12K. I've been on many lifestyle getaways, but I was burning. I was going all the way to 12, falling, going all the way up, falling. We did not have resources like we have here. I mean, the resources that we have here are crazy. They're insane. I've never seen anything like it. And I will get to that. Some of the team that has come over with me or switched from a different team, and I will talk about that, has seen it and they're like, whoa, this is nuts. This is what I was missing. So basically it got to the point where I wasn't passionate about what I did anymore. And there we go. If you look at my office, I have big cutouts and just Thrive. I wear Thrive stuff all the time. And I was sad. I was depressed. Anxiety came back, all the things. And I was like, okay, what is not working? So I decided to get off my products for 10 days. Got off my products for 10 days. Will never, ever do that again. That was the worst decision of my life. On social media, I made it sound like a challenge, but deep down inside, I was hurting. So I knew it wasn't my products. Now, did I know that I was going to come back to the company, or was I just going to be a customer? This is at the point where I lost all hope because I was working so hard, right? and I wanted to throw in the towel. So I had the conversation with Ryan a few months later, and you have to do it compliantly. I will say that. We have an amazing team, so hopefully no one's thinking about doing that. But I did it compliantly. I sat out for 6 months. Y'all, I went back to retail. I worked at Joann Fabrics. I don't know if y'all have that where you live. It is like a Michaels. I don't. It was horrible. Don't do it. Okay, we got Lavelle. Don't do it. And I came back, and when I came back, a few of my girls came back with me. And again, you have to do that all compliantly, but they came back with me. But I will tell you, none of those girls are here now. I have completely built a brand new team, maybe 5 customers still stayed, built a whole new brand, build a whole new customer base. And it's just simply because I said, you know what, if I'm going to come back to this, this is going to be my plan A. I got a taste of what it was like to work for someone else again, to do something that I hated. I will never, ever do that again. Okay. I had to request time off to travel. They were fighting me on that. Never again would I do that. Right. So I came back and I said, you know what, I'm going to hit the ground running. This is what I'm going to do. And I just trusted the word timing. Timing has been my word, especially into this year. And I know that if I'm not winning, at least I want my team to win. But again, if your team's winning, you're not winning. You're winning, right? So basically my mindset just changed on, I'm going to trust the timing. I'm going to do exactly what I need to do. I'm going to plug into every meeting, every resource that we have here, because again, I didn't have that. So that's just basically where it all started. And when I restarted and had the community that we have, like all these women here, it changes you as a person to where you're like, okay, if she could do it, I can do it, right? Or even if I'm like, I think like Shelly said, when we went to Courtney's, I think maybe we lost 12K, and that's okay. Like before, I was so shy to say like what my rank was, what my volume was. Like I just felt like my team just, was helping me, and that's totally different here. But not to get on that tangent, but it's different now to be where we are now. And we just are trusting the timing and just having fun with Thrive, and knowing if it's a slow season or it's not really even a slow season. Like I used to hear that word all the time. Like if you're feeling like it's a slow season, look at what you're doing every single day. That is what I will say. If you're not enrolling, go figure out how you can enroll somebody, is what I will tell you. I don't want to keep going. So Krista, is that what you want me to say? Or do you have any other questions? Do you want me to talk more on something?
No, I mean, that covered everything that I was curious about, just to hear how your journey has been, how you changed things, and you really did cover a lot of that. And something that you said, you guys, hold on. Like I said, all hell is breaking loose in my house because my husband's not home yet. But something that you said is if you do feel like you're going through a slow season, and I think all of us have them, it's really important to kind of look at yourself and what you're doing, because I've noticed personally when things are slow, it's because I am not doing everything that I know that I should be doing every day. I mean, I might be doing 50% of it, but am I following new people every day? Am I having new conversations, stuff like that. So do you guys have any questions for Ashley or Shelby? Is there anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, Ash, I know that you mostly do Thrive related posts and stories and stuff, whereas a lot of people were trained to more so do like, the AB method, like put some lifestyle, put some Thrive, kind of intertwine both. But it seems to really be working for you where you just mostly are Thrive. And it's not like you make it seem just it's ingrained in your lifestyle. It's like when you join, I don't know, like I'll relate it to CrossFit. Like CrossFit for me is a lifestyle, it's not like just something I do as a hobby. And so I guess how do you just make it seem so seamless? Like it's just, this is my life, like accept it or leave it kind of a thing. And how does that seem to really like be working for you? Obviously, you're 40K, you hit that really fast. But yeah, how do you just make it seem so easy?
So I will say that I tried, like, pain point posts are good. We are taught how to do those. Sorry. And those are great because it kind of takes people through a story. But for me, it's all about figuring out what your audience wants to know or wants to hear from you. So for me, when I was doing pain point posts and all those things, I was getting like, high five, good for you. Like, like, congrats. And that's not really what I was looking for. I was looking for, like, that person locks their dog up all day and the dog's crossing their legs and they want to be home with their dog. And sometimes I'd get like, oh, I wish I would work from home with my dog. Like, it's totally different. But I think for me, I just know that, like, what I have my hands on is freaking gold. Like, getting off my product for 10 days, switching things up, knowing that, like, I was a full-time teacher to nannying to working on the weekends. Like, I had multiple jobs and I just wanted to start this for like $20 extra in my bank account. And now, like, I'm home full time and I've traveled. Like, I didn't even know how to get a passport before this. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even know what the word all inclusive meant. Like, I thought, like, I knew that you had to go on a cruise, but I didn't know you could go out of the country and do that. Like, those kind of things. The Thrive posts do work really well for me, but I know that's not for everybody. So you really just have to, like, hone in and figure out what works best for you and, like, what your audience want to see. Like, if it is lifestyle stuff, do lifestyle stuff, but, like, sprinkle Thrive in. If it's more business, like, if you see people that are like, oh, I hate my job today, or, oh, I called out of work today because I'm so tired. Like, those are the people that you need to talk to about the products, but the business opportunity too, because that was me. And I was obviously looking for the business because I didn't want to work anymore for somebody. But I mean, I've tried both, honestly, Shelly, but the Thrive girl, I think it's just very confident in what I have. And if someone's like, no, I don't want it, or it's a pyramid scheme or whatever, okay, on to the next. Like, there's no convincing you. That's drilled into your head. I don't want that on my team anyway, because you're just going to try to bring drama into it. That's where my brain is. And I know a lot of people think, like, I know there's kids like a B word for that, but, like, a lot of people have to really get to know me to be like, okay, she's just, as stupid and silly as I am. So, but yeah, you just have to figure out what your audience, really wants to see from you. I mean, I do sprinkle in lifestyle stuff here and there, things from Jason and I, trips and stuff. But for me right now, I'm still looking to grow my team. Like, we're all still looking, right? So I'm very big on, especially with the double volume packs right now, that's huge. And bonuses on the line. Like, I'm very heavy on the promoter side of things. And I keep telling myself, because I'm guilty of it, I'm like, Ashley, got to talk more about the product, But my business posts do better for me than, even if they're not ready to do the business, they message me and they're like, hey, I saw your Thrive post. I want to get started on Thrive, even though, they don't want to get started on the business. So that's kind of just, I think, just figuring out what your audience wants to see and being consistent. That is the key. And I always say that, like, think about if Target closed their doors every other day, or when they didn't feel like opening, like, they probably wouldn't have the sales that they have, right? So, and I get messages to where I have heard multiple times, hey, I was following so-and-so and so-and-so wasn't posting about Thrive anymore. So I don't know if they do it anymore, but I see that you post about it every single day. So I'm going to sign up with you. So consistency is key, even if it's not a Thrive post every day. Your social media is your store. It is your business front. Like, you have to make sure it's professional. If you want to have someone sign up with you, look at your profile and be like, would I sign up with me? Okay. Because we all like, I see my girl Madison on here. Okay. Her and I are very big Disney people. She does not live in Florida. Like, I don't have really any team except, like, 2 people that live in Florida. Okay. Everywhere else is everywhere else. But we connect because of the way that I not put myself out there on social media, but the way that I am. Okay. If I didn't talk about those things, or if I didn't show her my personality on social media, she probably wouldn't have signed up with me. If I wasn't consistent with the business opportunity, she probably wouldn't have signed up with me. So that's the biggest thing that I would say, Shelly.
I love all of that. Thank you so much. What about, like, your day-to-day? Because we always know that there's ebbs and flows in business, and we're in social media marketing. You have to kind of figure out the algorithm, what's working, what's not, and it's always changing. So, are there things that you are doing more so nowadays, like on Monday, I'm gonna do this, Tuesday, I'm gonna do this, or is there something that you were just doing flat out every single day?
So I'm gonna say every single day because I don't have kids right now. So I know that obviously changes when you have kids. And well, I will say that it is different because I will say this. Jason used to work from he drove an hour to work. So he used to work from like 7 in the morning. He wouldn't get home till almost 6 or 7 at night. So I had all day if I wanted to sit in front of my computer, right? I had all day to literally just do whatever I wanted. And now he's off at 12:30 because we've had the privilege of that, which is awesome. So I get afternoons with him all day. But afternoons, it's hard to work when we're doing things together, right? So I try to really get everything done first thing in the morning. So as soon as I get up, like it's me time, it's self-development, it's taking my 3 steps. I get on MMM. If I'm not getting on MMM, which I highly suggested, I have been slacking, calling myself out because nobody is perfect and I've been sick. So I've just been like, right? So get on MMM because that really helps you walk through a lot of your stuff that you need to do every single day. But I make sure that I'm in my chats every single morning. I make sure that I'm doing my birthdays every single day. I'm making sure that I'm following up with people. Like, I'll just show you guys my board because I don't care. I have, this is March, so I need to change it actually. See what happens when you're sick? But I have been consistently, even though it says March. These are people that have ordered the packs during like double, triple promos, anything like that. So I'm always following up with them, glorified or not. If you're like, Ashley, what the heck is glorified? It's a promoter that just wants to order the packs when you get an awesome deal, right? So I will follow up them every single time. If they don't order it, that's fine. I know they're going to order the next time because they love the sale. So that's my kind of list there. This is my MMM layout for the morning when I host. This is, I have to actually take that down, but this was a bonus that I did with all the people that ordered. Here, I make sure that I have my enrollments that I want for the month. I always want 5 and 5, but I push for 10 and 10. But I'm not going to kill myself. So I always do 5 and 5 first. I'm almost 5 customers this month. Team wins. I always write down that I want 4 new or how I'm running new VIPs I want. I always write that we're going 40K again. We're at 80K team. Like always put your goals out there. I'm very big into that. Jason and I are actually, well, I'm actually on the wait list right now for Cabo. So I did put that we get off the wait list because my mom wants to go because now Jason can't get, that's a long story, both times off. But anyway, and then like 4K, like I know these girls, already, well, they're like re-ranking, but I know like these 2.0 accounts, they're going to hit 4K. And then I put like who's on 12, who's really going for 12. And then down below, I have my main runners. Okay. My main runners that I work with every single day. There's like 5 of them. And that's just basically what rank they're going for, what their goals are, and all of that. So I lost where I was going with all this because now that I just showed you all that, but sorry, I am squirrel brain. But really like just figuring out a game plan and doing it every single day. That's what I would say. So like all of my IPAs, I check my auto ships. I always remind my people like 5 days, 3 days, the night before, because I never want an angry auto ship person ever. Even if they need to push back the date or if they're going to let it go through. I give them, you know, a little bit of credits and to thank them. I'm always getting my customers, you know, list of deals, which I don't know if Shelly, if you want me to go into that, what I do. Okay, so you do. So my customer list of deals. So before on my old team, since they've already shared that, I used to just be like, hey, let me know when you want this deal, or let me know when you want to order. Well, they're never going to let you know because, you know, you just put the ball in their court. So now what I do is I am very big on urgency, very big. I basically tell people, even though my deals don't probably change every day, I still do change them every single day because it keeps it fresh. It keeps eyes on my stuff. I always tell them if they don't order right away or order that day, I'm always like, okay, hey, that deal, like, just so you know, my deals change every day because they go so fast. So this deal only goes for today. So that builds that urgency. Or if you're talking to someone and you're like, okay, well, I'm here to get you started. I have 3 left. Do you want one? Like, don't put the ball in their court. You're going to figure out who really wants one and who really doesn't want one, right? And if they're like, and they're just giving you every excuse around the book, go to the next person. They know where to find you when they're ready, right? Don't keep dragging somebody. But my customer list of deals is when anytime someone signs up with me, I always let them know that they're going to go on my customer list of deals. Or even if they're a glorified promoter, you're going to go on my list of deals. And so basically every single time I reach out to them, it's a deal and it's not a cold message because, or it's Merry Christmas or whatever, because I still build relationships with customers, but it's not me bothering them to show them a deal because they already know it's coming because they're on my customer list of deals. And so if they're like, oh no, that one doesn't really work for me. Okay, well, I'll let you know when the next one comes out. And if it goes on to like 5 and they still have it reordered or they didn't want that deal, even though it's a million different deals and they're good, right? I'm just like, hey, I noticed that none of the deals have worked for you lately. Do you still want to be on my customer list of deals or do you want me to take you off? No hard feelings. Because that way I know who to put my energy into and my effort into. Like if you don't want to do Thrive anymore, like again, you're going to know that I'm there if you want to come back. But I need to focus on who I could really help to stay on this product because they love it. So that's kind of what I do for my customer list of deals. But I would just say every single day, like, again, it all just goes back down to being consistent as you possibly can with your IPAs, with what you're doing every single day. If you feel like you're doing too little, I'll say it with love, you probably are. If you feel like you're doing a lot, hone in on what 3 to 5 IPAs are the best that are working for you. Okay. Is it building conversations with somebody in relationships? Is it birthdays? Is it getting on MMMs? Is it, auto ships, all the things? Is it getting your post up? Is it getting stories up? Are you talking in your stories? That's something I've been slacking on because I sound like a hot mess express, but I have been showing my face at least. Does that cover it, Shelly?
Yeah, that was awesome. I
I'm gonna
had
take a breather and not cough.
Oh, go ahead, Crystal. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I did. Sorry. I just wanted to, well, clearly something I lack is organization. I'm going to be like making it my goal to have a board like yours, Ashley, because that was impressive. Honestly, I need to be way more organized. I was going to ask you for your customer list of deals. That is genius, by the way, but do you email them every time you send it, or is it like an individual text to each person? How do you go about that? I know that's a very
Yeah, so I was emailing, but now that it's gotten so big that I still blows my mind. Like, I never want to toot my own horn, but it's hard because not everybody checks their email either every single day, right? Or every other day. So if I'm telling people that my deals change every day, they're going to miss out. So lately, what I have been doing is going through my back office, clicking on last order and looking at this is another thing I do, looking at who's ordered and what they've ordered. So like if someone doesn't order the 3 steps, I'm not going to shoot them a deal with the 3 steps because obviously they've ordered like 20 times and they're still not interested. But if they order balance consistently, I'm going to offer them a deal on balance. Or 2 products. I don't ever, honestly, that's just something I do. I don't ever do a discount on 1 product ever. I always do 2 or more just because it's more volume and you are giving your credits out or your cash back or whatever you're doing. So I was emailing, but now because I've honed in on like really who's ordering consistently every single month or twice a month, whatever, or auto ships are going off, I just personally message them. And sometimes we have voice recording. Sometimes it will be a little cute Canva graphic that I've made of the deal. Half the time it's a text message because I've gotten my customers' phone numbers. So those kind of things.
Thank you. That is awesome. Does anyone else have any questions for Ashley? I have so many notes. It's wild. I'm just jotting down stuff left and right.
I see stuff in the chat. Let's see. Okay, there's a question in the chat. Let's see. How do you manage both accounts? Do you enroll majority of people under you? So how I manage both accounts is depending on what's going on in the month. Like if my husband's account is being red-legged, which usually happens because I placed a killer team under him, then I need to work his leg a little more because it's still going to benefit my leg, right? If I need PPA closed on my account, then I'm going to work my account. But right now, because we've hit the 12K bonus, I should say, and the 40K bonus, on our accounts. I went ahead this month and closed out his PPA first and then mine. And now I'm kind of kicking myself for doing that because mine's 600 and his is 400, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. I have a larger amount, but I wanted to build enough of him first because he does get red legged really hard. Like he was hitting over 12 last month and he was stuck at like 8,000. So I had to like keep fixing it. So that's really, really, yeah. So basically I just kind of look at also like how many credits I have on each account. I know like for me, I can share credits to him, but it basically just goes on like really majority of what I'm trying to say is like, I have more promoters on my account that I've placed with him, right? So, or placed with my team or whatever. But so because I have more people on promoters on my account, like with the double volume, losing my words here, double volume, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to all those people, or like double, triple, for instance, that we just had. I, of course, messaged all the people that were under me because it would have been easier to do it that way. So it really just depends on what you're going for or what you're doing. You just have to make it like smart business moves. And I feel like you should get with your leader, your upline, and be like, hey, because it doesn't hurt to talk it out with somebody. Do you think this is a good idea, or you think this is a good idea? I know my team does that a lot with me. They're like, hey, should I enroll them under, my boyfriend or my husband or whatever, or should I enroll them under me? Or does my mom need to enroll them, or, or so-and-so. So, or do I need to put them as a customer under another customer, help that customer thrive for free? So you just have to like really strategize on some things. So hopefully that answered the question. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, IPA's income producing activities. I don't see any more questions unless someone had something.
Okay, sorry, my husband took off with my car and my phone connected to the Bluetooth, so I was just trying to figure that out. I was like, did the sound just quit working? Like, what happened? And then I realized, that is, no, I had something written down. Hold on one second. Okay, so I know you were talking about like slow seasons and that kind of reflecting on like what you're doing every day. But for someone who is just getting started in the business and they're maybe still just trying to figure out what does work for them, how you said you have to kind of just figure it out, and they are dealing with a slower start. What is something that you would say to those people who are kind of dealing with that and struggling on whether or not they want to keep going? Because at the beginning, if you are having a slow start, it can be hard to kind of see the bigger picture and the vision that you initially had when you signed up. I know that like we on our Ember Legacy team, we talk about it a lot, but I think it would be beneficial to hear from someone like you, just because, you've been through so many highs and lows in this business yourself.
So I will say, starting this business, and everything I say is with love. I am a straight shooter. I'm very blunt when you get to know me, but this business is not a click of a button become rich overnight. It's not. If it was, everybody would quit their jobs and we would all be millionaires and 200Ks and all the things, right? This takes somebody with really tough skin, because you're going to get the no's, you're going to get this is a scheme. You're going to get the mean people. You're going to get the nasty people on social media. And you know what you can do with those people? Block them. Block them. Don't even pay attention to it. Because again, at the end of the day, they're not paying your bills, right? But for someone starting out and not seeing the picture, I get it. I do get it, because, there's people watching, even though you don't see it yet. Okay. I have people that message me and they're like, hey, I've been watching you for 5 years. I'm ready to get started. 5 years. I watched someone for a year before I got started. I never said anything to them until that year was up. And then I said, I want to try this because I want to show you that it doesn't work. And then here I am. But I would say to, again, be consistent. If you're not sure what to be posting because you're brand new into it, you're just run with excitement. You have your hands on gold. In your first 2 weeks, like, God, I wish I could go back to my first 2 weeks. Like, people know that I'm thriving here, so I'm constantly having to change it up to keep it entertaining and to keep it exciting, because they know me as the Thrive Girl, right? But when you're first starting out, people are like, what are you doing? What's that stuff? And if you run with excitement is so contagious. Like, it's ridiculous what it could do for you. And you're so relatable in your first like 2 weeks than you are 5 years. You know what I mean? So because my transformation, like I lost a lot of weight in the beginning and now it's like, kind of there, but it's fine. Like I'll never get off my products. It's just a sign of getting older. But HDS is going to help that. So it's fine. But you're more relatable in your first 2 weeks. So I would just say to run with excitement, believe that you can do it. If you give up and you stop, you're never going to see what this could do for you. Like if I gave up, and I'm trying to think back when it was like my first 3 months in, I think I signed up every family member because nobody wanted to order from me. And like I hit 4K, but it was all family. And then like next month, they didn't want to order, you know what I mean? Because they were like, no, we just helped you one time. Like we're not doing this. And I was like, man, I don't know if I could do this. And I was doubting myself. Like if you compare yourself to somebody else, you won't be able to do this. And if you doubt yourself, you won't be able to do this. And I say that with love. But if you believe in yourself and know that you can do this, you can 100% do anything that you put your mind to. I am living proof. I do not have any social media background. I went to school for makeup, guys. Like, and I was a preschool teacher, like off of certificates. Like, I don't have this, if you would look back when I first started, I had Snapchat filters on my face. Okay. I look back at my memories every single day and I'm like, oh God, I'm like, please thrive with me, like begging people. Okay. So if I can do it, you could do it. You just need to be super excited. Don't take your foot off the gas. Sooner or later, like somebody is going to reach out to you as long as you're doing the things. If you're just putting up sales posts all day or begging people, then you're probably not going to. Just saying that again with love, because they know that you're just looking to sell them something. But if you show them the transformation that you've been through with Thrive, or even if you haven't hit even if you haven't earned your first paycheck yet, like talk about what your next paycheck's going to do. Or even if you haven't gone on a lifestyle getaway, share pictures from other people that have gone on a lifestyle getaway and talk about how you're going to be on that next one. Like, I know Courtney's team has huge team photos. If someone really wants to be nosy and zoom in to see if you're in that photo, you don't need them on your team anyway. You don't need them to order from you anyway, because again, that's just bringing toxic stuff into your life, right? But you could put up a whole picture of the community here or the resources. You can get on an MMM meeting and you can film the resources that we have. But for your first 2 weeks, I think that, or just getting started, I should say, run with excitement. Run with excitement. And it doesn't have to be like a whole drawn out post of, what everything does and how you feel. It could be literally like, I think when I started, it was like, hey, I walked my dog today and had energy to get through my classroom because of the sticker. You know what I mean? Like, or because of this DFT, people are gonna be like, well, what is that? Or I'll like see all these coffee, like, I think I did a video and we were getting rid of all of our coffee mugs and people were like, why? And I was like, because I don't drink coffee anymore. And like, what do you mean you don't drink coffee anymore? Or a pic, passing Dunkin' Donuts and you take a picture of Dunkin' Donuts. Well, guess what? I waved bye to Dunkin' Donuts today because I didn't have to stop there and wait 20 minutes in line for an overpriced coffee. Like those kind of things are relatable and people are going to be curious about what you're doing. So Crystal, hopefully that answered that question.
It does. It's really good to hear that. I always say that you have to have consistency be met with patience because, like you said, you had someone reach out to you after 5 years. Like, that is crazy. I just recently got a new customer that has been watching me for a year, and just a customer. It wasn't a promoter. I mean, she literally waited a year just to try the products, like ask for a sample. So, I mean, don't be afraid to have those little pep talks with yourself. I have to do that all the time. Just like if I feel my mindset slipping a little bit, I'm like, get it together, to really kind of tell myself like, this isn't, just because you're having an off day or whatever, still show up how you can and then move on and keep going. So yeah, I loved what you had to say, the excitement part of it, and then just not expecting overnight results. It's like weight loss, like the quick fixes won't ever work.
It's like somebody literally telling you, I want to drop 20 pounds. And I'm like, okay, well, this will help you get there. But if you sit and eat a bag of Cheetos and drink soda all day on the couch, it's not going to. Like, you don't walk into the gym for 2 days and you're drop 20 pounds. Like, yeah. But there was something else I was going to say because you just made me think of it. Oh, like at a job, okay, you're gonna have bad days at your job, right? You're gonna have days where like, I'm quitting, this sucks, like I'm not doing this anymore. And then think about how long, like if you think about how long it takes you to get a raise at your job, like it takes, I think it took me like a year one time teaching, and the lady was like, we're gonna give you 25 cents. And I was like, I'm done. I was like, we're not doing the 25 cents. Like, no, okay. Do you know what I do here? So it takes a long time to get a raise. So not that it would take a long time to get a customer or to get someone on your team if you're doing the things. I'm just saying that we have a totally different opportunity here. You have a totally different opportunity to give yourself a raise every single day. But yeah, I think just being excited.
And I think that the hard part for a lot of people is the fact that you are your own boss. Like you're in charge of how you show up every single day versus like going to a 9 to 5 job, you know, that you're supposed to show up at a certain time and you're told what to do and you know, whatever. But doing it on your own terms, it can be difficult because you have to have that discipline. And not saying that, you know, people have bad work ethic, because it sometimes doesn't even boil down to that. It's just like you're not used to this routine and how you might need to work at it. So if you're someone who is struggling with like staying consistent, I would just maybe challenge you to make a schedule for yourself. Like there's a lot of people right now, especially in RA, implementing work schedules because they're either overdoing it or they're underdoing it, you know? And so I think it's working for a lot of people too.
Yeah, I know you guys have like a minute and 30, but I will say if you treat this like a job, it's going to pay you like a job. You treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. Like this is a job. If you really want this to work, if you want this to bring in like maybe $100 a month, then that's something different. But if you're looking to go on lifestyle getaways, retire your husband, work from home, hit the top of the company, all these things, you have to be disciplined. You have to build that routine because it's eventually going to build a habit. And that's kind of what I've had to do every single day. Like I call myself out slacking because I was sick. So I was sitting on the recliner working, but I've made it a priority to get in this office every single day. Okay. And at least not come in here looking like a bum because it's still a job. Right. So just treat it like a job. That's all I got for you guys.
Thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate it. You did amazing. It was so nice
Thank you
to
for having me. You're
experience you.
welcome. Hopefully this helps some of you guys. Like if I can do it, you can do it, right? We
That
all
was
come
so
from different
good.
walks of life. We could totally do this.
I'm so thankful that you were willing to come on here and like pour into us, because that was really good. And I think a lot of us needed that like fire relit under our butts. So, I mean, I'll speak for myself, but but yes, thank you so much. And if you
You're
guys have
welcome.
any other questions for Ashley that come after the fact, drop them in the chat and then maybe I can like send them her way. But we won't take up more of your time. So thank you guys, and